The nine of clubs goes secretly all the way through the deck into a gambler's cup. I am Daniel Madison and this is the SUZAN shift. Nine of clubs goes all the way through the deck and secretly into a gambler's cup. I am Daniel Madison and this is the SUZAN shift.
British. I'm from the United States of Kingdom. I'm an American doing an impression of someone from England. From British. You sound like you're from British. What?
Well, you keep saying my name.
No, I'm just warming up for another smashing YouTube video. I'm from British. I'm from British, Charlie, and I won't have anybody say anything otherwise.
I don't bloody know. You're bloody.
You sound like you're from British.
I am Daniel Madison, welcome back. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate you choosing to spend some time with me and Charlie today. You didn't think I could do this, did you? You didn't think I could squeeze one more video in before we get 50,000 subs? What the hell? I just had to do it. I spend so much time in the comment section reading and looking for what people want next, and in a lot of my videos I show this control that's kind of a developed version of a diagonal palm shift. For a while I was calling it a diagonal palm gambler's cup steal, and all these technical words that magicians and card people would be used to, but all these words are so convoluted and a lot of them are quite arrogant and unnecessary, so I decided to just call this one SUZAN. Wow. That's right, SUZAN. So basically it's the control of a single playing card that goes inside a shuffled deck of playing cards. The moment you see that playing card go inside the deck, it is already in a gambler's cup. You're already free to get the hell out of there with the stolen playing card. Now this can be used as a way of controlling a playing card to the top, to the bottom, to a specific location. That's right, Charlie, to the bottom. Now the thing that I love about SUZAN is that she slowly inserts herself into the middle of the deck. She protrudes for a few moments like a little frozen sausage, works her way all the way into the deck, and it looks like she's gone missing. Really, she secretly snuck out of the back door where she's hanging out of the back of my dirty hand. I don't even know what I'm talking about sometimes, Charlie. Without further ado, I'm Daniel Madison. You're gonna love this one. This is SUZAN.
Wow.
Not you.
Well, you stop bloody calling my name. I'm trying to get some sleep. Listen, I've only got 3 frozen sausages left, so you can only have 1, because I'm having 2 for myself today. See you later, Daddy Madison. Ha! What an idiot.
If my mum could see me now, she wouldn't have had me adopted. So as always, we're going to start with the mechanics, which showing you exactly what's going on. So I take the 9 of clubs, goes in the middle of the deck, and by the time I've riffled the deck, put it down, whatever I want to do with it, I've already got away with the 9 of clubs. So the 9, basically the 9 goes all the way through the deck when you put it in the middle. So I riffle about halfway down. By the way, the deck is in a kind of a normal dealer's grip. To begin with, very relaxed, very just chilled out. All you want to be able to do with the deck is riffle down the side, which requires finger 1 going underneath so that we have pressure from underneath, and then the thumb allowing cards to riffle away from it, like this. So we stop about halfway, take the 9, goes into the middle. Now the free hand, yes Charlie, the free hand, my right hand is going to straddle the deck as it's putting this card into the middle. Now this card goes into the middle like so. The free hand, finger 3 hits this card on the side, finger 1 on top, Finger 2 on top, finger 1 on the top corner here, on the very edge of the corner. This finger's going to do all of the work. Well, not all of the work, but the majority of the work. You want a fairly loose grip with the deckhand. You want this kind of window, you want this gap, this little hole. You still want to be holding it like this at this stage. So finger 3 hits the side. I start to push the card in the deck. As I do that, finger 3 contacts the deck, the entire deck from above. So I can now grip the whole deck with this hand. I don't do that just yet, but that's the position of the fingers. That's why finger 3 hits the side, so they can go down on top. The thumb can hold the back like so. Finger 2 pushes down, finger 1 helps. Finger 1 is on the very outside corner of the card, and the thumb on this hand is round about middle. And here's what happens. So I'm pushing the card in, and finger 1 carries on pushing the deck downwards. What happens now, I feel the playing card coming out of this side. So you see the playing card there has landed or has found its way in between fingers 3 and 4. Fingers 3 and 4 of the deck hand just here. So I can now feel the pressure on my pinky on finger 4 as I press with finger 1 on the card. The thumb, the freehand thumb is also on the outside corner of the deck now, and it can feel this card pushing past it. So if I push finger 1 down on this card, you can feel it going through the deck, and I need to move, my pinky now needs to move out of the way to let that card through. That's not what happens, by the way. It does for the main steel, but right now we're just going to take a look at how the card comes through. So at this point, it's kind of diagonal. That's where the DPS name comes from. It's at a weird angle, so we want to straighten it up. So the finger 4, the pinky and the thumb, straighten the card up. The thumb just offers support. So from the top, that's what it looks like. Because I slowed it down, it's very awkward and silly and weird, but just to show you how we get this card protruding. So if I straight up expose this and try and show you what's going on behind the scenes, the card goes in the middle, and it's now in position to take away from the deck. If I just take the deck, let this hand relax, I've now stolen that card. So you can see there's quite a lot going on from that angle. And it looks like there's a lot of stretch and a lot of movement, but if you look at that same thing from the front, it's barely noticeable, and we'll talk about how you cover those movements afterwards. I always think it's essential to do like a riffle or a dribble. You don't have to, you can do it as clean as this, so there's no dribbles whatsoever, and very slowly and calmly move away. But there's this whole kind of piano movement going on that deserves a little bit of attention in terms of hiding the deception, especially if anybody is going to see from this angle. I don't know why anybody would be on the floor looking up. I don't know if you're going to be showing this to kids. Hopefully not. This goes in the middle like this, so you can see the pinky's here. As soon as it's in position, the pinky comes back so it doesn't stay there. And this is the main variation, by the way. There's a few different ways of doing this. So in the middle, push through. As soon as I feel it here on my pinky and finger 3 and the thumb here, the deck hand, the free hand now takes the deck. The deck hand pivots that playing card off of my deck hand thumb, so it's pivoting like this. It's now clamped between finger 1 and finger 4 here. This thumb does not move position. It stays exactly where it is on this side of the deck. So as we do that, I now stretch all the way so that it clears, and then pull it underneath the deck slightly. At this point, I put the deck down into my hand, and I allow fingers 3 and 4 to release. So in slow motion from the front, 9 goes in the middle like this. In slow motion from the side like this. So if I do that, if I execute that as a performance, looks just like the deck's gone, the card's been lost in the middle. The thing that sells it, the most important part of this deception for me is this bit, because if you do it without that, watch the finger movements on this hand. you can see what's happening. You can see it. You can tell exactly what's going on. Something strange happened at the back. So all of a sudden, if you start to move the deck, it just looks like nothing's happened. It looks like that you've put the card in the middle and you've dribbled the cards on top. It looks like you've got no control over that card now whatsoever, but in fact you've managed to shift it all the way through the deck and into position. So when you do it without that movement, without the riffle, you can see something's going on. Now I try to do it without movement sometimes, but it's too much of a risk for what you need to achieve, for what you're using this for. But the added bonus of doing this once the card's been put in the middle, or just riffling, just sells it so much to people that you actually lost that card in the deck. So let's look at the mechanics again all the way from the back. So here, card goes in the middle, finger 1 allows it to go all the way through, pivot around the sides, the thumb never leaves. I'm doing that just to show you. And then you stretch down here, this thumb never moves. Once it gets underneath the deck goes down, relax your fingers and you're in position. So, and again, this feels like a really dirty situation at the time, but it does a few things. One, the two beautiful things about this I love. One, this riffle, jaw and the deception itself. Now, that's beautiful. Two, look how I'm holding the deck. It's at the very edge of my fingers. It looks like I could have no control over that playing card in the middle of the deck. It looks like I've got very little control over the deck itself, because essentially I'm only holding it between finger 1 and the thumb. The rest of the hand is holding the 9 of clubs. So from this position, it allows me to do something so beautiful in deception. You take someone's card, put it in the middle, riffle, put the deck straight down. Or with the dirty hand, as soon as the card's in the middle, as soon as you've got it in there, hand the deck out to them. All this space that they've got to grab the deck and take it off of you. Meanwhile, you take away the dirty hand. Imagine this. The 9 of clubs goes into the middle. Their signed card. It's in the middle. This hand is now completely empty. Here, take the deck. They take the deck from my hand. Psychologically, they now believe that this hand is completely empty because they've taken everything from it. So I'm now stood here with 2 empty hands as far as they're concerned. I really have stole their playing card. Now I really don't want to miss anything out, so I'm going to give you this over the shoulder view of exactly what it looks like at the back, exactly what you're going to see when you're doing this. So 9 of clubs into the middle, comes through. So you see this big dirty thing here, and then you take the deck, put it down like this. At this point, it's a good idea to tell you about a note from Jeff Leanza, my friend Jeff Leanza, when the card goes through. At this position, take this hand away and wait here for a moment before you put the deck down. This sells it. Jeff's idea was, this playing card for him sometimes wasn't in the best grip. He didn't have the best grip over it. When you come with your free hand to take the deck, your thumb presses down on that card so that it presses it into a deeper palm. So it presses it right in the middle, right down to the hand. Really nice little subtle idea, I think. So if you do take the deck like this, when you take the deck, this hand, you do not need to run. You do not need to rush. Don't do this. Don't go as fast as you can. Don't try to hide it. If anything, keep that hand there. Keep it there. You don't need to take it anywhere. Nobody's looking at your hand. Nobody knows what's happened yet. As far as they know, if you perform this correctly, the only place everybody's going to be looking is the deck. Now I have published this move a few times and a few different variations of it. An earlier variation was called the squeeze shift, which eventually I found out that Di Vernon had done something very similar, and I never gave credit to him for it. And that's simply because everything that I do and everything that I develop and create, I come up with completely on my own, just practicing work with playing cards, and I try not to be influenced by other magicians or by other people's work. So I kind of stay away from magic, from the teaching side of it. I just keep that all to myself. And that happens in magic, but I wanted to show you the squeeze shift. I called it the squeeze shift because this might help you in your practices when you're learning how to cop a playing card straight from the deck. So the squeeze shift is essentially the same thing that we've been teaching, but when the card goes through, finger 1 pushes it through like so. Hold on, I'm looking at the camera. When finger 1 pushes the card through like so, and you have it straddled on this side here. And remember, this thumb, do not ever take that thumb off the deck when you're doing this. That's the one selling point. So once you're in that position, once you're in the straddle position and you've clamped this playing card between finger 1 and finger 4, from this position you can, let me try and get the right angle. You can, if you squeeze now between finger 1 and finger 4, this happens. The card completely bends, and then it can retract underneath the deck. I know that went out of focus a little bit. So it would look like this. Squeeze, and then squeeze back. So I called that the squeeze. I've got the camera at terrible height to show you this. So that's why I called it the squeeze shift. And all this would allow me to do was, I always worried about this hand, the stealing hand, this hand, making too much movement at this point. I always worried about that. I thought it made too much movement. So I used to overcompensate by squeezing those fingers together and bending the hell out of that card, and then allowing it to pop back under the deck. And although I do love this idea and I practiced it and performed it for many years, the discovery of riffling the cards, when I discovered that that was enough to hide, to deceive the moment, to cover the moment, I stopped squeezing the card, because obviously if you squeeze cards like that, you can end up bending them and damaging them so that they look different to the rest of the deck. Ideally you want that card to be straight, so now I try my best not to bend it. And if you think about the actual move itself, the SUZAN move, when the card goes through, it doesn't take much to get it to clear from the deck, and I don't come straight back. Like, you can see that I'm not coming straight back like this and then under. I'm kind of going off to an angle, and it's going to be different for everybody who tries this, and it's all going to rotate around your thumb, because your thumb has to stay on the side of this deck. So now practice and see what happens with your hand, see what happens with these fingers. They might be able to go all the way back and under. Some people might find that they have to go to the side, which I believe it's called like a side steal. Thanks, Charlie. When you come to the side like this, I've seen a lot of people do that, and sometimes I have to adapt to this depending on where people are stood, depending on my dangers, and depending on what I feel like I can and cannot get away with. So the side version is pretty much the same. You come here and then you just pull to the side like this. I'm sure there's a credit that's deserved to go to somebody for that. I know that's from magic books that are 100 years old. So is the diagonal palm shift, but I've never found one that suited me quite as much as this one, which I developed myself, which is a way of not getting that card back to the deck, but completely stealing it from the deck in a way into a palm that I'm the most comfortable with, which is the gambler's cup. I could never get it into the other palm because I always found it unnatural in the steal, and then in the return or in loading. I'm so comfortable and so used to the gambler's cup that I made the DPS adapt to my deceptive needs, and all it took was doing this to finish it off and make it kind of almost a perfect deception. So you have to think wisely on how you're going to use this and what you're going to use it for. It's not going to be suitable for every single thing. For me, if SUZAN signs this playing card, I take it back and lose it in the deck, I can instantly hand the deck over to her. She shuffles while I'm stood here waiting for the deck to be shuffled. I've still got her playing card. As soon as she's finished shuffling, she gives me the cards back, and I load that card back underneath, and I know exactly where it is. I can use it however I want. Usually if it's one of those fast hard hitting tricks, you simply just take the deck back and say, look, I'm not going to do anything other than cut the cards, and then you found SUZAN's playing card. Otherwise, if you want to steal the playing card, this is a great way of doing it as well, because the moment that you're going to load that playing card in your pocket, in a book, somewhere else, she signs the playing card, you take it, lose it into the deck and say, look, take the cards, give them a shuffle. Now she's shuffling, everybody's watching her. They've seen her playing card go inside. Now they're watching her shuffle. I'm stood back. I'm not going to rush. I'm going to keep this card here for as long as I feel comfortable with, out in the open for everybody to see. And as I've said before, for certain people in the crowd, I don't mind waving at them and exposing this. And that's not arrogance, that's kind of a practice that I developed to the point where I know where they're looking. I know that they're not looking here because they think their card's in the deck. So I've got the freedom to just kind of scratch my head or stroke my beard and expose this, knowing that no one's going to see it because they think it's in the deck. But while she's shuffling, I've got so much time to just take this to my back pocket, or to just pick something up right in front of her, or just pick the box up, put it in front of the box right in front of her, and put the box down like this. And she's none the wiser, because if you can manage your performance wisely enough, then you can get away with doing things like that. And that's how true miracles happen. Because she'd be like, I saw the card go in, and then I just shuffled it, and then the next thing it was in the box. Because they're so convinced that their card's in there, they're not looking for anything else. You don't have to try and hide things. So when you take the card away from the deck, it's an important moment. It's an important moment for you. The card goes in, and also the timing of this. You really don't want to rush anything at all. In fact, you can get the card here and show it for one last time if you want to. I don't believe there's a need to if you're showing the card here first, because then you can go straight into the move, put the card inside the deck. Please take the cards and shuffle them. And it's in your language too. Look, I'm going to take your playing card and we're going to lose it in the middle of the deck. So the body language there is me saying the psychology of it and the body language. I'm putting your card, we're going to lose the card, suggesting no control, in the middle of the deck where nobody can get to it. And the body language, I'm never looking at this, never looking at the cards, I'm always looking at them. And the thing is, if you're always looking at them, the chances are they're always going to be looking at you too. So in a strange way, I could pretty much go, look, I'm going to lose your card in the middle of the deck, shuffle it into the deck. And trust me, I've gotten away with that loads of times. And in fact, there's a really, really cool move that I probably shouldn't show you right now, where I will show you, where you have the cards here and you say, look, I'm going to lose your card in the back, in the middle of the deck, if you want to shuffle them. And really what you're doing, you're just taking the card and putting it straight into a gambler's cup. But if you do the body language, the timing, and you're looking at them, if you do all those things correctly, I don't want to suggest that you do that or practice that now, because there's so much goes into that move itself. But the same thing applies to any kind of deception. If you're good enough at performing, if you can do it correctly, you can just take the card and put it into a cup. You really can. I'm not suggesting you do that though, until you're at a level in the right time, in the right place, where you can get away with that. So when the playing card goes inside, the timing, I'll get to it, Charlie, the timing is, you just don't want to rush. I've seen so many magicians fail because they've rushed. They're going too fast because, oh my god, I'm doing something naughty, I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing, and it's scaring me, and I'm worried that they can see everything, and all these little anxious voices that start showing up out of nowhere because you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, and it makes you rush. So I try to go slow to control that, to combat that. At least I used to do, and I think that's really good advice from me to you actually. Try to go slow. See how slow you can do it. So we're going to go in the middle, we're going to go slow with it. Because at this moment, although we're doing a big thing, to them, you're just putting a playing card in the middle of the deck. I mean, how hard is that? What does it look like? You know, how's that supposed to look? And how difficult is it? Does it require these strange moves where we're doing all this weird stuff? Like, why would a magician, why would anybody put a playing card in the middle of the deck like that? You have to ask yourself like that. You have to ask yourself that. How would a normal person put a playing card in the middle of the deck? And they'd probably like put it in like this, or they'd probably just put it on top of the deck and shuffle. At the most, this is a very fair looking way of doing it. Just put it in. You can maybe show it one last time and then just push it inside. You know, there's a really nice idea where the card is here, and you just tap it and it jumps out right out the back. So maybe you can incorporate that, but you have to ask yourself, how would a normal person do it? So for me, I try to make it look as normal as possible, which is card in the middle, push it inside, a little bit of a psychological trick, whereas I dribble or I riffle at the back, suggesting that I've really lost it and there's no control. I'm now stood in this position where they can take the deck. So the timing of it is all there's no rushing whatsoever. It's all very, very slowly done, you know. And even when I'm here, as soon as I'm clean, then I can chill out. I don't have to say, quick, take the cards. Oh, put the cards there, look, nothing to do with me. You know, when the cards are taken off of you, when they take the cards. And please, try not to be scared at this moment when you're practicing. If you use this move, ask them to take the playing cards out of your hand. Trust me, you'll have all kinds of happy emotions when you realize that although this looks really dirty to you and a bit scary if they come over and they happen to see over the top, or what if they grab everything at a weird angle, once they take that deck from you and you're left with a palmed card that they can't see, you'll have all kinds of happy emotions, and it'll make you want to do it more and more, which encourages your practice in the right directions. So if you, on the off chance that you're a little bit scared of doing that, or if you're a little bit worried, then you stood right here with a card with everything's done already at this point. I'm here, I'm done. So now I've got the freedom to just take the cards like this and then hand them over. Please shuffle the cards. Or I can do this, put the cards down and use the dirty hand to say, look, shuffle the cards. You know, the pointing fingers guy, shuffle the cards. But in taking an action, if this hand can point, then there's nothing in it. I'm not holding anything if it can point. If it can do an action, I'm not holding anything. If it can do an action, I'm not holding anything. There's certain actions you can't do, but pointing lends itself to this palm in such a beautiful way. In such a beautiful way. I have this routine called card to box. So creative, I know. Maybe I'll change the name to Margaret. But I have this routine where everything's done with the dirty hand, where it could be done with the clean hand, but it encourages my practices and it beats that fear. If you can use the hand that's got the palm card in, please do. I'll congratulate you on that. So once that card's through the deck and you've got it in the palm, then it really is up to you what you do with it. I mean, it depends what trick you're going to do. It depends what your presentation is, what your performance is. This is just the slide itself, but those few ideas should be enough for you to put into practice. For one, you've stolen a card from a deck that looks like it's gone into the middle. Instantly, it looks like it's in the middle, but you've stolen it. So use it how you want. That could be a card to pocket, could be a card to something, or it could be what I would usually use it for is a control. So I managed to steal it from the deck. They have the freedom of shuffling the playing cards. I can now load this onto the deck when I get the cards back. And as I've said before, as their playing card has been loaded straight to the bottom of the deck after they've shuffled, here it is. I can go straight into a knuckle cut or a hot shot cut or any move that kind of makes that card instantly pump out. I mean, I could go straight into a bottom deal routine. I could just load it to the bottom of the deck and then shuffle it to the top. I could use it however I want. So essentially, I don't like using that word, but essentially this is a way to control a playing card. Control or steal. I think I've said enough in this video, but I'm trying to rack my brain in case I've missed anything, and that's one of the dangers of trying to speed up these lessons, because so many people don't like the longer videos. Although in the last video, a lot of people watching said that they really appreciate the long videos, so thanks. I think I've got what I wanted to get in this lesson, so thanks for watching. Let's go to outro. I am Daniel Madison. That was the diagonal steel cop shift, gambler's cop steel, I don't know. That was Susan. I call it Susan because it's such a long word, and also I like the idea of taking moves and tricks and deceptions like this and giving them names that have nothing at all to do with what it is, because you don't really want to spell it out to people who wouldn't necessarily want to know what it is. I think I know what I'm saying. It's a good way of hiding it from somebody who's none the wiser, a non-card person, a lay person, an idiot. A swear word. So for real this time, I do think that this is going to be the last video before we get 50,000. Right now it's 49892, and I do want to do something special. I keep saying it, and I will choose something special to do because it's a big deal for me. I went through a time maybe last year where it meant nothing to me, the numbers, the subscribers, the counts, all that. The one thing that really does mean a lot to me is the fact that people are here sharing this with me. I do feel like we're all on a journey together. It's not just me in front of a camera between this digital wall. I know that you're there learning. I've always wanted to be a teacher my whole life of deception, of sleight of hand, of trickery, of what I know and what I'm the best at. I want to pass it on because I can't take it with me, and I know that there are a lot of people out there wanting to learn this stuff. And if I can teach you how to do things the correct way, because in the magic industry there's so many bad things being taught, and there's no policing really, there's no government in place to stop the bad teachers or take down the projects that aren't really teaching things correctly. So I feel like I'm a force for good, or at least I try to be. I'm all about the advancement of the deceptive practices. Deception is an art. I believe that I do it the best I possibly can in the best possible way, and for me to share that with you. And a lot of people tell me, yeah, Charlie, I was just gonna say, a lot of people tell me that, you know, people would pay good money to see this stuff. And for me, it's not about the money. It's always about the message. I hope this doesn't sound too cheesy or corny or slimebally, but my reward is knowing that people are gaining from what I'm giving. That's what's in it for me, and I love doing this, so things are only going to get better and better. Make sure you subscribe so that you get the notification next time the new tutorial comes. I'm Daniel Madison. Thanks for your time. This was Susan. Wow. Not again, Susan. The trick, the move is called Susan. You're supposed to be flattered. So when I'm saying Susan in here today, just ignore me, okay?
Well, you keep saying my name.
Jeez. I'm Daniel Madison. This was Susan.
Hey, I can hear you whispering, you know. I can hear you talking about me behind my back, about me and my stubs. Just stop it off, it's not nice. And get up off the floor, you idiot. I hope you haven't soiled yourself again.